Good evening, my crafty friends. This is Tammy Stoffel from Washougal, Washington. I am Stampin' Tammy, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And last Wednesday, I showed you how to make some gift boxes. And one of them was the reinforced lid gift box. And I put my tear and tape in the wrong spot. And then I finished putting it together because my video was getting quite lengthy. I didn't want to bore you too much. And once I was finished, I realized I didn't show you the correct sequence of folding the flaps. Okay, so this is the gift box that we made. And it's, it's pretty deep. You can put a little something in there. Should be a lot of fun. And then this is the reinforced lid. It really does give it some stability. But when you flip it over and look on the inside, it's not very aesthetically pleasing. And that is because I folded the flap over, the long flap, first before I put my tabs in place. So let me show you how to do that right, so that the inside of your box is pretty. Some of the things that we're going to work with tonight, maybe some wonderful snowflakes. We'll take a look. Misty Moonlight, Evening Evergreen, maybe some polished pink ink. Going to continue on with using paper, designer series paper from the Whimsy and Wonder specialty designer series paper pack, and putting some more boxes together. Okay, so first of all, this is what this lid looks like once it's cut out. Okay, so I have just simply taken a piece of designer series paper that is 6 by 6, and I scored it. A little easier to see on this side than those busy lines. I scored it at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches on all 4 sides, and then I took the, so you can see it when I line it up like so. So then it's 6 by 6 paper, scored 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, all 4 sides. And then I trimmed away this portion right here. So then your box extended out like so, to make that 6 by 6 paper. And I cut away all of this. And then I trimmed a flap here to make a tab. And then I just lightly mitered each of the corners and did that on all 4 sides. Okay, so 6 by 6 paper, trim off 1/2 inch and the other 1/2 inch, leaving this little square here to be your flap. Okay, so let's put this together. You're going to add your tear and tape to the edge closest to the body of the box. Okay. Might be able to see something if I put my glasses on. Let's give that a try and see how that works. So the tear and tape is just exactly that. It's very easy to apply. It's easy to tear. You don't have to use scissors. If you get a little hangover like this, just fold it back on itself. Okay. And then we're going to line up these edges. Fold the flap in. This edge lines up with this fold. just like so. If your tear and tape tries to come off of the surface that you've just applied it to, it just needs to be burnished or pushed down a little firmer. Use your nail across it or the edge of your bone folder, like so. And what that does is it just causes it to adhere better to the paper. And then the release paper will come off easier. Okay, so we're going to fold it in like so, and we're going to press it together. Okay, one more here. Fold that flap in and line up those edges and press together. When you're scoring on the Designer Series paper, be careful not to press too hard with your scoring tool because the paper is a little more fragile. Like this edge right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. This edge right along here I got a little too firm, and it's a little fragile. It will be reinforced once we get it put together here. Line up those edges, and again, smooth it out. Okay, so now is when we fold in these flaps. Okay, these flaps are what gives that lid the reinforced edge. And just fold it over and smooth it out. Again, peel that the release paper off. Fold it over and smooth it out. Again, fold it over. And this box is taking shape quite nicely. Last one, and we're almost done with this reinforced lid. Smooth it out. Make sure those edges and the corners are tucked in there quite nicely. Okay. And there we have our lid. And see how much nicer it looks on the inside compared to this one? Much nicer. Okay, and there we go. All right, so tonight we're going to do 3 more gift boxes, and they are stackable. You can make them into a gift, a decor piece. We're going to make 3 card bases, and they're going to be, bases are 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 7 by 7. Okay, we're going to score at 2 inches on all sides. Okay, the lids are Designer Series paper, 6 by 6, and these are inches, 5 by 5 and 4 by 4, and you're going to score 1 inch on all sides. Okay. So I have already prepped these boxes. And what I have done here is I did the cuts. I scored. This is the lid. Show you here the lid. That is a 4 by 4 inch piece of designer series paper. Okay, scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. I folded them lightly, and then I started in the corner here, and I cut up to the score line, and then I just lightly mitered the edge on both sides, and then I turned the paper and did the next one, and then I turned the paper and did the next one, and turned the paper and did the next one. This seems to be the easiest method to for me anyway, to keep track of what I need to do and where I need to make my cuts and miters. So actually this is the 5 by 5 lid. Here is the 4 by 4 lid. And when you're putting your designer series paper, the piece on the lid that's going to be the top is where you're going to put your tear and tape, because those flaps are going to fold in. Okay, so there we go. And this is the 6 by 6. And again, for the card bases, or for the box bottom, we have 8 by 8, 7 by 7, and 6 by 6. Scored 2 inches on all sides. Makes a nice tall box. Okay. When you've got a wider flap, be sure to use 2 pieces of the tear and tape. You certainly can cut some of that back, and that's what I did on this one, because these edges do overlap on the inside flap. All right, well, let's get to assembling here. Pull off the release paper. I can see I've got ink on my fingers. Right there, ink pen. There we go. That's better. Okay, so just a little housekeeping here. We live out in the boonies of Washougal, Washington, and our internet service is not stellar. Sometimes it works great, other times it doesn't. So I currently don't try to stream a second device and watch comments because the lag is slow, and I don't want my video to wind up being pixely for you, okay? So I do go back and I answer all questions. Please feel free to ask any questions, comments, likes, and shares help me to grow my business, and I truly appreciate that. I'm also on YouTube as Tammy Stoffel, StampinTammy, and I appreciate it if you would, if you are interested, to hit the subscribe button. That really helps as well to get that viewership out there. Okay. We do have Cyber Monday coming up. I did start a Black Friday sale that really runs through the 30th of November, and it is for free shipping. Shipping is always a big cost. I don't get free shipping from the company. We all, unfortunately, it's something that we all have to pay. However, I would like to pass on my discount to you. And so for any order of $50 or more, I would like to reimburse you for your shipping. Just put your order in online. There isn't a host code you need to use. Just place that order and I'll see it. And then I will reimburse you the cost of your shipping. I will, my preferred method to reimburse is to send you a check, a personal check. So we'll just discuss those details once I contact you after you've placed your order. It's a great time to get some, order some supplies for your card making or your gift giving. Order something for a loved one who loves to create, or get somebody inspired. I have some. I've got some bags, some fun bags that we're going to burnish the edges of the cardstock here at the folds. And this designer series paper, I don't need to use the bone folder on because it is a lighter weight paper. So let's see, I took that one off. We're going to go ahead and get this corner put together. So I do have some fun clear plastic bags that have a zipper on them that would be ideal for a crafting kit. Okay, if you are interested in purchasing some adhesives, several, we've got the multi-purpose liquid adhesive. That is my adhesive of choice. The Terran tape, glue dots. We've got the tape runner style, which is the Stampin' Seal, and then the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is extra heavy duty. See that edge? It's just hanging over a little bit. Fold that tape right back over on top of itself. Line up those edges, smooth that together. If that's something that you're interested in doing, or putting together an essentials kit, such as the paper snips, a bone folder, some adhesives. I have those kits, and I could easily decorate one up for you with a decorated belly band that you could use as a gift for a loved one or for yourself. If that's something you're interested in, then just let me know, and I would happy to put something together for you. Okay, so we're going to put this box lid back, slide this lid right on, just like so, and there is our first box. Isn't that cute? And it's nice and sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. Let's move on to the 7x7 designer series paper. Or I mean the cardstock. This is the card base, or the box base. We're going to burnish those edges. Just like so. And then we'll start taking these release papers off. So if you are interested in placing an order, you need some assistance, not sure what to get, you've got a loved one who likes to do paper crafting, but you have no clue what to buy, I am here to help you. I also can offer gift certificates that are redeemable through me for Stampin' Up! Merchandise. Okay, and then we're going to fold that in, line up those edges, and smooth together. And then on to the next one. Pull that release paper, fold that little bit over that's overhanging, and I think I had a dog hair there. I've got a red heeler or Australian cattle dog, whichever. I think the official name has been changed from heeler to Australian cattle dog. I call her the cow dog. She's pretty awesome. Her name is Ruby. We got a couple of kitties, and then my mom has been here for the weekend visiting, so her little miniature schnauzer is here, and her dog is Zoe. Zoe is your typical little not around other animals much dog, and is not really cat savvy. So we've had a little bit of a fracas here, but you know, nobody's been bleeding, so that's good. And it's good for the kitties to get shook up a little bit, and good for her to have to know that she needs to give them space. All right, and again, line up those edges, fold that little bit of release or tear and tape over, and smooth it down, and then see how nicely it all comes together inside. Okay, so that is the 7x7 piece. And then we're going to move on to the 5x5 lid, 5 inches by 5 inch square, scored at 4 inches all the way around. Okay. Again, the tear and tape is at the score mark closest to the body of the lid. Okay, and this tear and tape has got just a little bit of an overhang, so we're going to fold that piece in, fold that flap in, and then line up those edges. Okay. And again, fold that in, line up those edges, and press. Smooth it out. Okay. There we go. One more to go. Okay. A little bit of excess tear and tape kind of poking up there. Let me find a I'll have to wash my scissors good after I'm done here. Trim that little piece off. That little glue bugger just wanted to hang out. Okay. And here is our second box. they are, starting to come together. Okay, so now we have the 6x6 base, 6-inch square, scored at 2 inches all the way around. This is the one that I showed you where I cut the edge of the flaps off, because they're going to overhang a little bit so that it's not too bulky on the inside. Well, this piece here was for that reinforced lid. Okay, so we're gonna, and I already burnished these edges, these folds. So now we'll start pulling off this tear and tape and get everything put together. You can pull all the tear and tape off, the release paper off all at once. It doesn't really matter which order you go in. Just be aware if you've got any other little things hanging around that can get stuck in the tape as you move your box around putting it together. It may go together a little bit faster here, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to fold this piece up, fold that flap in, and then we're going to bring that edge and line it up. Okay. Fold this flap in, bring this edge up, line it up, smooth it out. Okay, last one. And there we go. Okay. Smooth out all those edges just to make sure that that's laying smooth there. And then our 4x4 piece of designer series paper for the lid, scored at 1 inch all the way around, cut and mitered. Okay, a little bit of extra tear and tape, we'll fold that piece over. Smooth that corner together. And smooth that together. I got a little something in my tear and tape there, but it will be covered. When I glue that piece together. Okay. Alrighty, and there's the top for this box. You know, the one thing that I didn't do is I really didn't give myself, see how that edge is buckling right there? So when you are scoring your lid, okay, so you've got your lid here and you're scoring at the 1 inch mark. you really need to make this center portion just a hair larger for the lid. This is the lid. And this is the base. Okay. When you're scoring, you really need to take and make this portion just a hair, a 1/16 of an inch. Okay. Make that center portion a 1/16 of an inch larger. And then your lid will still fit snugly, but it won't distort like here. See how that's pushing it out just a little bit? I didn't do that when I was scoring this. So these are these tips are to help you to learn from my mistakes. Okay. And there we have a cute little box tower. You can make this into a decor piece. You can use it for small gifts. You've got, you know, little candies can fit in here. In fact, I have some of these, the Lindt chocolate truffles. And I think, oh yeah, 2 will fit in here quite easily into this small box if you wanted to do something like that. You can put a little trinket of some sort in there, or like I said, you can make this into a home decor piece. If you're making it into a home decor piece, or if it's just 3 gifts for a special someone, you can wrap it all up and tie it together. See how I have to kind of squeeze that? I didn't give that 1/16 of an inch when I was scoring. And it's the 1/16 of an inch is not an exact science, okay? It's just a matter of really pulling your paper out from the edge of your trimmer or your scoring tool so that there's just a little bit of a gap. But if you're going to use this as a gift, you can easily wrap it up with some ribbon, okay? If it's a home decor piece, my suggestion is to put just a little bit of glue in the center of each DSP piece, or to use glue dots and secure those in place. And then you can tie it all together with a ribbon. Alrighty, I think you get the idea there. You can add to your tower a little label. You can cut out some of these, some of the gifts from the designer series paper, and add it to it with dimensionals. That would be very cute. We're going to go ahead and decorate the top of this label, or this box. I've got a few things that I put together. I have, let me get this ink pen out of here. So I have several little of the trees that I cut out from the Whimsy and Wonder, the Whimsical Trees stamp set, and the dies are called the Christmas tree dies. Okay, so cute. I used these 2 trees. I think you've seen me use those before. They're very cute, and they go with almost anything. So we do have a label from the Seasonal Labels dies, And I've taken this one and I cut it out in soft succulent. And then I used this little skinny one that we're going to stamp our sentiment on. And that is right here. Okay. I usually put these on a magnet sheet. I just haven't gotten it done yet. Magnet sheets really help to keep them where you need them. And then your packaging is not sticking to the double-sided tape. And you're not having to bend your dies trying to pull them off of that double-sided tape. So that's what I do. Okay, so we've got a little label here. The sentiment we can use, let's see, let your heart be light. That would fit in there quite nicely. Or from the Peaceful Deer, let's celebrate, Merry Christmas, it's the best time of the year. All of those will go nicely on this label. Let me see where... Merry Christmas. Yep, Merry Christmas will fit on there. I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so because it is a photopolymer stamp, we want to make sure that we're stamping onto a cushion. Okay, the red rubber stamps, or cling stamps as they're known or called, are already have the cushion built in, and the photopolymer ones don't. That gives it that extra little to make up for any defects that you may have in your work surface or in your block. And let's see here. Okay. So this is block C, and it's the perfect size for this sentiment. Now with the photopolymer stamps, my suggestion is always to take your block down to the stamp rather than trying to put the stamp on the block, because they are incredibly flexible, especially if it's a longer piece, longer and thinner. It's easier to distort the line or the straightness that as it goes onto your block. Putting it on your surface and then applying your block really makes it fall back into its natural shape. Okay, so we're going to decorate the top here. This is Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen ink to stamp this sentiment. So we're going to just ink that up. Always test run, and that looks good. Okay. All right. That looks okay. Close the ink pad so I don't get into making an inky mess. And let's see here. So I do want to add some of these trees. Okay, we've got several options. There's pink. There's some blue. Some of that silver. Okay. And let's kind of lay this out a little bit here. I kind of like the different colors. Okay, so let's add a little bit of glue, and we're going to adhere those on there, and then we can trim those tails off as we need to. Okay. All right. I'm not going to worry about adhering that down because the label will go right over the top, and that's going to hold it in place, okay? If I were to want to have this whole piece lay down flat, including all of the trunk, using the adhesive sheets and turning this die cut into a sticker is a fabulous option. It's a little bit difficult to get glue along that line. It can be done. It's messy, but it can be done. Okay. Let's see how we like that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of that blue to there as well. Okay. So did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? I worked Thanksgiving Day. For those of you that don't know, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 32 years. And I work in acute care. So that's a hospital setting, and it was a good day. I worked on Black Friday. That's okay. My kids are grown. I'm not looking for a bunch of big deals. So it was a good couple of days, and then we had our Thanksgiving meal yesterday. My fresh turkey was when I pulled it out of the, we've got an extra refrigerator in the garage, and when I pulled it out on Saturday, it was partially frozen, and so yeah, I want to trim those off just a little bit more. Yeah, so my fresh turkey was partially frozen. Cooked it longer than I thought it needed to be. The portion that I tested, temperature wise, said it was done, and then went to start carving the turkey. It was not done. So we had most of our meal, put the turkey back in the oven, and finished it off. Cut off a little bit of meat from the outer edges of the breast, and zapped it in the microwave. Smothered it with some cranberries, and it was fine. But you know, there's always something that goes awry when you're when you're cooking your meal, and but it was okay. So it was my husband, my youngest son, my mother, and my husband's mom all here. My mom lives in Eugene, Oregon, which is about it's 2.5 hours from our house to hers when traffic is flowing. But we're driving through Portland, Oregon, which is always a crazy freeways jammed up. And so realistically, we need to make sure that we've got 3 hours for that drive. So, but my mom came up on Friday and was here when I got off work, so that was really nice. And then we made our meal yesterday, and today I'm finishing up this piece. Okay, so isn't that a darling label? And we're going to put that right here. And because it's not going to go in the mail, we're going to pop that up with some more dimensionals. And then we're going to wrap this video up. Oh, the mailing list for the new January to June mini catalog and celebration coming in January again. The mailing list closes at the end of this month. So if you want to be on my mailing list, and what I mean by that is to receive a catalog in the mail from me, you need to message me your address or have been a customer and made purchases within the last year. Okay. And there is our darling box. Isn't that cute? Oh, that's ever so slightly crooked. Yeah, well, that's okay. Live with it, Tammy, live with it. It is handmade, not Hallmark, right? Okay, well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate your support. And like I said, if you want one of the new catalogs coming up, please make sure I have your address right away, or place that order for free shipping. And like I said, I'll reimburse you the cost of the shipping. That order can be placed online. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of those things help to boost my business, and that way I can continue to bring you crafting videos. So y'all have a good night. Thank you.